In the headlines, gunmen set vehicle ablaze in Ebonyi day after Buhari's arrival. UK designates IPOB as terrorist group. Supreme Court opposed Governor Ganduje faction of the All Progressive Congress. White House names first black press secretary. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Zainab Bala. Hello and welcome. Gunmen suspected to be enforcing a two-day sit-at-home allegedly declared by yet-to-be-identified dissident group in the southeast attacked Ebebe Junction in Abakaliki metropolis in Ebonyi State. The attackers, who struck around early morning Friday, set a vehicle ablaze while a motorcycle operator escaped death by a whisker. According to reports by residents, the attackers, who came in a vehicle without number plates, fired several gunshots sporadically that got the residents panicking and scampering for safety. Meanwhile, a combined team of the men of the Nigeria Police and the Ebubeagu Eastern Security Outfit, Ebonyi Command, have condoned off the area. Lovett Oda, the police public relations officer, Ebonyi Command, when contacted for reaction, said that she was yet to get a report about the incident. The United Kingdom government has finally accepted Nigeria's classification of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, as a terrorist organization. Following widespread killings and acts of lawlessness, the Nigerian government designated IPOB a terrorist group in 2017. But some foreign countries, including UK, which IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu holds its passport, did not acknowledge the declaration at the time. However, 4 days after the outlawed group beheaded an army couple who were on their way to Imo for their traditional wedding, UK acknowledged IPOB as a terrorist organization, directing that it should be excluded from its asylum program. The Supreme Court has upheld the Governor Abdullahi Ganduje faction of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in Kano State against the party's faction loyal to former Governor Ibrahim Shekarau. In a unanimous decision of the five-member panel of justices read by Justice Inyango Koro on Friday, the Apex Court held that the appeal against the earlier judgments of the Court of Appeal in Abuja lacked merit and is dismissed. The court further ruled that the two other appeals in the matter will abide by the decision. The Court of Appeal had in February dismissed the three appeals, also held that the originating sermons were wrongly commenced in Abuja, adding that the matter was an internal affair of the party. The appeals followed the two rulings of an FCT High Court in 2021, which upheld the ward and local government congresses believed to have been won by the faction loyal to Shekarau and Senator Jibril Barau, Kano North, numbering about 17,908 and 1,319 members, respectively. Elsewhere, Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has approved the dissolution of the State Executive Council. The Secretary to the State Government, Usman Shua, announced the dissolution of the Governor's Cabinet on Thursday, saying it was with immediate effect. The announcement was contained in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary of the Administration and General Services, Danjuma Ali. Governor Zulum, according to the statement, directed all the affected appointees to hand over the leadership to permanent secretaries in their respective ministry. He explained that the dissolution was to create an enabling environment for interested members of the council to legally participate in the forthcoming primaries and congresses of the All Progressive Congress. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has reminded political parties that they have 1 month from Thursday, May 5th, 2022 to conclude their primaries, while reminding political parties the deadline remains Friday, 3rd June 2022. The Commission urged them to ensure rancor-free and transparent exercise, noting that the deadline is firm and fixed. It maintained that nominations for presidential and National Assembly elections shall be submitted through the INEC web portal from 10th to 17th June 2022, while governorship and state houses of assembly nominations shall be submitted between 1st and 15th July 2022. INEC further reminded parties that they must submit to the Commission the list of candidates who must have emerged from valid primaries. The Commission assured that it will continue to work with political parties to ensure fidelity to the Constitution, the Electoral Act and the timelines for all the activities contained in the timetable and schedule of activities for 2023 general elections. The Minister of Science and Technology and Innovations, Dr. Bunaya Onu, has formally declared his interest to contest for the presidency on the platform of the All Progressive Congress, the APC, come 2023. Onu's declaration swells the number of presidential aspirants, including ministers, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, APC national leader Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and some state governors, among others. While formally declaring on Friday in Abuja, Onu, also a former governor of Old Abia State, said Nigeria can no longer look to foreign countries for its salvation. According to him, the fact that Nigeria has the key to unlocking its own prosperity is enough for the citizens and his party to elect him as Nigeria's next chief servant. He recalled his days as governor of Abia State when the state provided free treatment in public hospitals and also tackled insecurity and other sectors. Similarly, former Ogun Governor Amosu on Thursday officially declared to run for president in 2023. He made the declaration in Abuja. Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi attended the declaration event. Senator Amosu unveiled an 8-point agenda through which, if elected, is expected to transform the country's fortunes.
This generation of young Nigeria for national greatness, to be a vehicle for the project of national revival and revitalization that all Nigerians crave for, to be the administrative instrument that turn our national story from one about potentials to one about actualities, to be the president that takes all the various setbacks and victories, the despair and jubilation that compose the calendar of our national history, and turn them all into elements of our collective national glory. A rendezvous with history is in the horizon. The sacred task of marshalling all our energies to achieve our national destiny is at hand. Let us embrace this eagerness. Let us embrace this with eagerness and courage. Assured of the infinite grace of God, convinced about the actualization of the potential greatness of our country, and confident about my vision and capacity to lead this country, I, Senator Ibikunle Oyelaja Oluwatoyin Akanwo Durorike Mohammed Iklil, do ask you, my dear compatriots, particularly members of our great party, the All Progressive Congress, to support my bid for the presidential ticket of our great party APC, and ultimately the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May God bless you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Over 70 million prospective voters in Nigeria head to next year's polls to elect leaders at various tiers of government. The nation's electoral space is witnessing a monumental shift from conventional media campaigns as politicians are embracing the social media space to engage the electorate. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman takes a look at this new approach and its impact on electioneering.
The advent of new media or social media powered by information communication technology (ICT) in the early 21st century has changed the dynamics of social interaction amongst people. The availability of social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp now provides an opportunity for politicians seeking people's mandate to market themselves with relative ease. How has this innovation affected politics and electioneering in Nigeria?
It has now provided alternate platforms for them to reach out to their various constituencies. Now they can do a lot more communication with their constituency, with the electorate.
There are over 90 million active users in Nigeria on WhatsApp alone, according to a 2021 survey, while active subscribers on other social media platforms are hitting about 33 million. With a voting population of over 84 million and still counting, smart politicians only need to explore the nexus between social media and political engagement. But how are the teeming internet-savvy unemployed youths taking advantage of the internet revolution?
Thus, we believe and we are full of confidence that what we do on the social media to get the message of our principle out to the world will be efficient.
We use so many fora. We use the Facebook, we use WhatsApp pages, we use the Twitter, we use Instagram and all those areas because mostly the youths are always 24 hours on those media.
To politicians with shallow pockets and weak financial muscle, the social media platforms could provide some sort of relief in dealing with huge campaign spendings.
Cost of using a new media platform is cheaper than if you to use newspaper or even the television, because you work with a media house, you know how much you charge for 30 seconds or 1 minute, or if you want to do live coverage.
As the growing social media engagement trend presents both opportunity and threats to developing democracies, there are grave concerns on its usage in effective leadership recruitment in the face of governance deficit in the country. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up. 12 years after, Nigerians remember late President Yar'Adua. Stay with us.
Daily, we bring you updates around politics.
People like you who are very young, you have no future. Anybody now who is 30 years, if what is happening to them continues, by the time you are 60, you will have no country.
The DPO of a particular unit does not have to wait until the commissioner tells him what to do within his jurisdiction.
We have political parties on the ground. Some of them have been there for years. But they themselves, in their own sober moments, they know that this country is not the one they're expecting to run.
Policy and governance.
Are you saying the NBS is lying?
I'm saying to you very clearly that the NBS has a serious problem with accurate data till today.
The 5th Assembly, as well as the 7th Assembly, their own attempts were unproductive.
Emergence of the Taliban has simply emboldened terror groups globally.
There is a lot of attention with regards to security developments in Nigeria.
On Daily Politics, we interrogate issues, holding the actors to account, bearing in mind all the sides.
We heard that in some places now, people have to go and pay tax, not to the local government, not to the state, but to criminals.
Nobody can come to your house and kidnap you without information.
If this country is bleeding, it is bleeding because we have failed to educate our young.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update, our top stories. Gunmen set vehicle ablaze in Ebonyi day after President Buhari's arrival. UK designates IPOB as terrorist group. Still ahead, 15 people have been killed after a boat capsized at a river located in Mayadua local government area of Katsina State. The incident, according to an eyewitness, occurred on Wednesday at about 11 p.m. when the canoe conveying an undisclosed number of passengers capsized and killed 15 people on board. Reports say funeral prayers were conducted for the victims on Thursday at about 7:30 a.m. at Abu Town in Mayadua local government area of the state. The State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Yao Umar Gwajo, was among the dignitaries that attended the funeral services of the victims. He used the opportunity to commiserate with the families of the deceased. The police in Katsina State has uncovered a human trafficking syndicate and rescued 12 victims on their way to Libya. The victims were rescued at Kalgo village of Daura local government area of Katsina State. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more.
Human trafficking is still very much in operations and knows no boundaries within Nigeria. For instance, these victims are mostly female between the ages of 14 to 35 and are from southern Nigeria.
I rescued the following victims: Madinat Adekeje, female age 39 years of Kwara State; Aminat Kazim, female age 25 years of Oyo State; Orobore Francis, male age 21 years of Edo State; Mike Emuabon, male age 22 years of Edo State; Oladoke Ohunoma, female age 33 years of Edo State; Elizabeth Idimudia, female age 16 years of Edo State; Fatima Ibrahim, female age 25 years of Osun State.
The victims were kept in a house of one Yahya Dahiru Kalgondaura, who is at large, while efforts are ongoing by the police to arrest him.
The person that is taking you there, how much are you going to pay him?
No, she said I will pay only 1 year.
You will work for 1 year?
Yeah.
Then she will collect the money?
Yeah.
But do you know that going to that place without government approval, without going through the necessary immigration procedures, do you know that it's an offense?
I don't know, because she told me that there's no name to go to Libya. That's why you say it's only way to Libya is the road. That is why.
Police Public Relations Officer of the Katsina Command, SP Gambo Isa, is promising that the perpetrators will be arrested and brought to book in due course.
As far as I go there, how much are you going to pay? I will pay you like 250. Then you will start working on your ways now. Do you have a traveling document with you? If you are traveling to another country, you must possess passport, papers. I send the money, so they want to do a passport for me.
Do you have it?
I send the money to her. But you think they can maybe...
But you can't travel without having the passport in your possession.
I've never given it to me. So, that I go to there, I tell you, give me the passport, no problem. I sent the money, send everything to her, so that we do everything.
Are you aware of what is happening in Libya?
Similarly, the police said the suspects will be handed over to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP.
The command is making frantic efforts to arrest the owner of the house, one Yahya Dahiru, male of Kalgo village, Daura, the house where these victims were rescued, and also the driver who took them into that dwelling house, one Masoud Dusha, male of Ankara village, Meadua local government area. Investigation is ongoing.
The police is urging the public to continue to synergize with the relevant authorities to track down criminals in Katsina State. Abdullahi Ismail, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Moving on, residents of Yola were on Thursday hit by thick clouds of sand and dust. The storm, which is common in arid and semi-arid regions, experts believe its frequency had significantly increased in recent years, raising health and environmental concerns. Now, to bring us up to speed with this, joining us from Yola is Percy Debank. Hello, Percy. It's nice to see you, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So, could you walk us up to speed with what really happened yesterday in Yola? Yes, go on, Percy. Go on, Percy. I can hear you.
So residents were surprised to see the thick dust that covered the sky, and it was moving into the capital city, Yola. This is something that have not happened before. I've not seen this before. I've been in Yola for over a decade now. I've not seen anything like this before. So it was really surprising, and a lot of people, there were a lot of commentaries on social. A lot of people shared some sets they thought it was about. I so much believe it is caused by the reason that we all should know the certification. Bush one of the things that causes this kind of thing. It was really scary. But after some minutes, about an hour or so, the weather became normal, it rained a little, and everything is fine now.
Okay, so what's the weather like today in Yola presently?
The weather is sunny. Usually around May you begin to expect to see heavy rainfalls in Yola, but it's a little different this year. And I think last year it's rained just about twice, and not very, very heavy for those of a very short time. Very short. The weather is very hot, very, very hot, and because of what happened yesterday, there was no electricity from the time that it started up till now. So these are some of the things that people have to go through because of what happened.
Okay, thank you so much, Percy, for talking to us. All right, moving on. 12 years after the late President Umar Musa Yar'Adua died while still in office, Nigerians still remember him as a man of integrity and a unifier they never had enough of. President Yar'Adua was elected as the Nigerian president in 2007, who died on the 5th of May 2010 at the age of 56. Nana Muhammad tells us more.
I am fully confident that I am going to win this election by the grace of God.
The death of President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua in 2010 came to many as a shock, but to others it was expected due to his prolonged ailments and frequent hospital visits. Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan wrote a heartwarming message on his official Twitter handle in memory of his late boss, whom he described as a selfless leader, peacemaker, soldier of truth, and a true Democrat who was a servant leader and a good man. To some Nigerians, late Yar'Adua was the hope not only for Nigeria as a nation, but for the African continent.
I remember our late president, Umar Musa Yar'Adua, as a man of peace, as a man of integrity, a patriot and a committed Democrat. And he demonstrated these attributes through his policies, his programs, and the directive principle of his administration. He brought healing, and I mean national healing, to this country.
From Kwara, Kaduna, and Kano, some Nigerians sent in some heartwarming messages.
The country will know that you miss a leader who can call a spade, a leader who came out openly that the election that brought me into power is faulty. That's a leader, because he will be able to tell you exactly what is white instead of calling it black.
Let Umar Musa Yar'Adua, of blessed memory, cannot be easily forgotten. This is because of his, I will say his attempt to review, to readdress the problems that seems to bedouble this country.
My brother, you agree with me that even our educational system was okay. The issue of strike and all this that is happening now was not there. Fuel, how much are we buying fuel that very time per liter compared to now? Light and everything were stable. Even this insecure everything, he came out wholeheartedly to make sure that he cleared those things before God took him away. May his soul rest in peace.
He was a great leader, and Nigerians miss him because he had the fear of God and the principle of rule of law.
His death was mourned by thousands of Nigerians who believe that the situation in Nigeria today would have been different with a compassionate leader like the late president.
Similarly, 12 years after President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua died in office, Nigerians in his home state of Katsina have continued to speak about his leadership qualities. Some of his close associates, those who worked with him, described him as a humble leader.
President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua was declared winner of the presidential election which held on April 21, 2007. He died in 2010 after spending barely 3 years in office. But since then, his legacy and doctrines have continued to resonate in the hearts of many. Right from his inauguration on May 29, 2007, Nigerians will be treated to a new kind of leadership. Well, Katsina State had been fortunate to experience that kind of leadership for 8 years before the man Yar'Adua became president.
My first relation with him is a friendship. Then he became my leader. We argue, but we are always together. Nobody knows about us. Umaru is a gentle person and honest person. Umaru never lie. Umaru never steal like other governors. Most of governors are thieves. Umaru is not a thief.
The 7 points agenda are still fresh in our minds, and the return of peace in the Niger Delta region were part of his achievements. He was a great thinker. Most great leaders are great thinkers. Umaru thought about the nation above himself.
Those who served directly with him will always remember him as a peacemaker and nation builder.
He was indeed a leader which is very rare to find nowadays. The most important things he did is he fought seriously against social evils, social injustice. He was a man of integrity, and he believes in the rules of law.
Had it been let Umaru Yar'Adua survived up to this period, you wouldn't have seen Nigeria of this kind. All these clowns that are parading streets and roads, claiming to be politicians of this century, wouldn't have been there to even be mentioned for the first time.
The deceased president is fondly remembered today by Nigerians who strongly feel that leaders can borrow something from the past.
Very straightforward person, very simple in everything he do. He don't tell lies. He is always a good listener for people who are coming to talk to him. He comment very little. And that's what he wants to comment on, must be straightforward and true.
The country's rulers might not live in the past, but can emulate a democrat whose timeline was defined by virtues of good service.
And on the foreign scene, President Biden has named Karine Jean-Pierre as his new top spokesperson, the first time a black or openly gay person has held the role. Jean-Pierre has served as the administration's principal deputy press secretary since Biden was elected. She will replace outgoing press secretary Jen Psaki in the top role at the end of next week. And that's it on News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Thanks for your time and company.